Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Guest List podcast. Here we have our guest.
Hello.
How do you pronounce your?
It's Cinnedi.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little introduction about yourself?
Yeah,
please?
hello guys. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, so I'm a DJ, music producer, dancer, performer, different kind of things. I've been performing, oh my god, probably since I was like 3 years old for so many different things, from dance performance, clarinet player, like percussion,
Musician.
just musician in general, right?
Yeah.
And I went to my first music festival and I saw that there was like this was like years ago. That's like 2016, 2017. So it's like can't believe that's almost 10 years ago to say, like a decade ago.
Okay.
And I sat down and I was like, I don't see as many women playing.
Yeah.
And it was almost like a calling for me that I was like, I must get on these stages. I must do this too. And I remember one illuminating experience, as one does at one of those festivals, and I just started DJing and I've been doing it ever since. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's crazy. Yeah, I have so many questions. I didn't even know where to start. Let's just start from, so musical background, right?
Yeah.
So where do you start? Just like...
Yeah, for me, we were so lucky, and what's really cool about Prince Edward Island is that grew up here, and the actual musical journey and like the bands, like even in high school and junior high, there was a lot of push in the funding to make sure that like art and music was being a format in schools.
Yeah.
So for me, I started just like good old junior high band, right?
Okay.
And I started playing clarinet. And then I did singing lessons and then musical theater lessons. But I was also a lot of the time outside of school performing as a dancer. So I was like in Walt Disney World even performing and doing stuff like that, which is really cool.
Really cool, yeah.
Which is really, really cool. Is that my music playing? Did my music just randomly start playing? So random. That's so random. Anyway. Hilarious. So I started, where was I going with this? So I was in junior high band, and I gave me a clarinet because my lips were smaller and I couldn't really get the flute and I couldn't figure that kind of side of out. And then I was in honors band for like 10 years. So I would travel all into Canada, and I think we even went to Central Canada once from my memory to play and learn musical theory and become, a musician.
Yeah.
But one thing I felt like I wasn't really, it's not that I wasn't connected to playing clarinet and being in classical music, but I wanted to do something else. So it was actually, I was writing music on like Fruity Loops at like 16, 17 before I became a DJ, but I didn't realize that the connection and like the two worlds had to collide. You have to do both if you really want to be successful in it, and not that you have to be, but if you really want to make it as a DJ, performer, and that kind of thing, you have to write music. And I went on that kind of, I was going through a lot. I remember when I was 16, 17, people bully, and people are not always nice in high school, and I was going through a lot of that kind of like hardships that you go through when you're in high school. So music and dance was like the place where I could just breathe for a minute.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I was like 17, actually, I moved to Halifax, Nova Scotia, which was like such a crazy move at such a young age. And that's when I started doing all these festivals, like Evolve, Future Forest, like all these different kind of things.
Have you ever played in any of those?
Yeah, so I was new to the music industry for Evolve, so I was a dancer before I was a DJ, but I did play Future Forest.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
Which was fun. But I moved on from a lot of those festivals to do other things. Like I did stuff in Montreal and like Toronto. And I think my biggest advice for anyone is that there's so many cliques, and I have no issue saying this at all, that like festival performances, and especially in Atlantic Canada, it's a very cliquey based place.
It is.
And I'm not afraid to say it to people. Like,
no, it is. And everyone knows it, and everyone is aware of that. And it's like...
Everyone knows it. It's ridiculous, too. Like, at some levels, I'm like, oh, my God, who cares if you're not with the cool group or, whatever. Because, like, it's kind of this metaphor, I'm going to say it, that it feels like you have to suck dick to actually get there.
And that's the part that I hate. Like,
I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it. And I see so many talented people in Atlantic Canada that deserve spots on some of these festival grounds. But they don't have it because you don't know who the right person is to talk to.
And that's why I decided to do my own thing, because especially like coming from outside, like being like a foreign, like just coming from another country, not knowing anyone, and kind
Yeah.
of like starting from zero in like the scene.
Yeah.
It was like impossible. So I was like,
Impossible.
okay, let's just start, and then
I did the
You
same
know?
thing. I remember being with like the cool crew for a little bit, and
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, no. Like, I sat down
Yeah.
being like, this doesn't make sense to me, and this isn't actually going to succeed for my career. And you being from Playa and like
Yeah.
being so close to Tulum, you actually have like a more informative background than
Exactly.
like so many different people on the East Coast. Like, that's my opinion,
Yeah,
because these
yeah.
festivals are huge. We're talking about Zamna happens there. We have
Day Zero, like
Day Zero, yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Everything is going on in these places. We had John Summit there
The
last
VPM
year.
at that point, that was sad whenever they stopped doing it. but yeah.
BPM. There's just so many stories about that. That was an interesting one to end. But then they have Acaso, then they have Envision in Costa Rica. Like,
Yeah.
you have an area that wintertime is where everybody goes down to, you know, and
Yeah.
like, and not fire festival status. Like, we're talking like real big, crazy festivals. And some of the people here have never even seen that before, right? So you have that background, right? So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's good for you. You have to sit down and like do your own thing to even be successful
Yeah.
in general.
In anything,
In
yeah.
anything, yeah. Yeah, that's a big rant. We could go on that forever.
No, I know it's that's why I decided to start doing my own thing. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good to start like your own thing
Mhm.
and then grow it with your crew and
Yeah.
no, like you don't have to go and suck dick to anyone.
No, exactly. I know it's such a like a horrible thing to say and like a weird metaphor, but like when I lived, because I lived in Halifax and I lived in PEI when I was in high school, but I lived in Halifax for like 5 years because I went
Yeah.
to school, I went to university. And I was also dating like a big performer who was also a DJ. I was
Mhm.
also, you know, in that music scene.
Yeah.
But I found you can only, like, I had multiple residencies. I was playing at Hide and Seek, the Dome,
Mhm.
oh God, so many Bitter End, like all these different kind of places. But then you only get to a certain level and then you're like, okay, what is next? You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
So when you build something like a podcast or you build something like this, you can consistently keep growing.
Exactly.
But I think it's very easy in Atlantic Canada to get to a certain point and then not be able to grow any more. So that's why you have to build other things and be innovative to like take those next steps.
Exactly. Like that's why I have this project. It started
Yeah.
as just throwing parties.
Yep.
And then I have kind of. We're not a collective, but it's kind of a collective. 'cause,
Collective,
like,
yep.
We're not a lot of DJs here, and like we play kind of like most house, techno, and stuff like that.
Fun.
And here in the East Coast, most bass house, dubstep, and stuff.
Dubstep.
And
Yeah.
I don't really play that, so that's why I say it's kind of like a collective.
Yeah,
'cause
but in Toronto, it's house, techno,
Yeah.
Afro house,
Anything.
minimal tech. It's
and
everything.
everything because you have,
Yeah.
it's a city, right?
It's a city. Yeah,
There's
it's a big
millions of
city.
Here, there's like
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. So you moved to Toronto,
Yes. Yeah.
or when was that? When did you?
Oh God, when was this? I think now 3 years ago. But
Okay.
my journey in Toronto was very different than what I expected it to be. So I was actually a bass and dubstep DJ for like 5 years before I went back into house music. So when I was in, long story short, so I started in Halifax with a different name. It was called Kenny G, which was like not good branding,
Mhm.
very new, but I think it was like a great like starter project, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
That like I was making dubstep music, but I was playing a lot of house.
Yeah.
Like it was like a starter learning curve, learning what kind of branding that I actually wanted to do. Then I made a new brand that was called Cinnedi, which was mostly for dubstep bass music and stuff like that. And I did a project called The Seven Deadly Sins in Halifax for about 2.5 years. That was really high funded and had short films, and it was like a crazy performative artist.
That's cool. Yeah.
And it was all about like mental illness and creation and like getting through your hard times, kind of. It's like
Mhm.
me as like the artist was like fighting off demons throughout the project.
Okay.
But like they actually looked like demons, they were real things.
Yeah.
But it was kind of the idea of like mental illness and
Did you
someone going
release
through
some
that.
music related to that?
Yeah, I did. So I'm before my house music that you see on Spotify, you'll see the Seven Deadly Sins project.
Yeah, I was listening to whenever I was on
Yeah.
my way to from work. Like I was listening to one of your. Because
Yeah.
like I realized that you have like some kind of like heavy bass dubstep,
Yeah,
and
heavy
then
bass.
you have more like EDM, and then you have more like like a housey
Yeah.
vibe.
Housey vibe. So for me, and this is kind of funny to say this, is that like so many DJs start with dubstep and then move to house. Like it's such a known thing. Like
Really?
it's kind of like a joke in Toronto. They're like, yes, like you. I think Hunter. If you know how big Hunter is right now, he did that Stephanie remix, that like big Stephanie.
Yeah.
His visual artist is a really good friend of mine, and we make a joke. It's like, oh, you moved to house just like every DJ.
Just
like
everyone.
it's just you move and you kind of do that thing. I think you kind of grow up and you get kind of tired of like
Yeah.
the really heavy bass music. But yeah, so partly why I'm telling this story is that if it wasn't for that project, I would never have been able to get to Toronto because
Okay.
it's expensive there. It's a very kind of cut edge, like
And you gotta go outside and like like
Yeah.
I have friends that are DJs in Toronto,
yeah,
and some of them are just starting, and I have other ones that they've been DJing for a while. And yeah, just seeing the scene there,
it's hard. It's a hard scene, and because there's everyone's a rapper, everyone's a DJ, everyone's doing something creative, and you really got to push and network and get yourself out there, which then also brings the idea of like the drugs and party scene, and you have to balance yourself because there's always something going on in Toronto.
always.
But yeah, if it wasn't for the Seven Deadly Sins project and all the success of that project and the royalties and all the things that kind of came out of that, I was able to save a bunch of money and get to Toronto, and I had a beautiful condo and a good life and all that kind of stuff. But I found actually it was really hard for me to have people like my dark bass music because I was kind of dark and creepy and a little bit kind of satanic looking and like gothic, and I actually got ridiculed a lot for it. Like it was really interesting that I had a lot of people that kind of didn't get it.
Yeah.
Which was really weird, which I kind of found that it was like, who cares, like let people be creative. But part of it why I really changed is that I worked in the fashion industry in Toronto and built Toronto Fashion Week and Toronto Swim Week and built all these different things while I was doing like this bass artist thing, and like the two brands just didn't mesh well together, which I kind of found was interesting. And I was producing all these shows, and that's part of it why I moved to house music, because I kind of found the darkness was kind of taking over my life a little bit. Like weird stuff started to happen. I was using a lot of occultism and like, I don't know if you believe in like ghosty stuff, but like weird stuff started happening. And I was like, okay, you know what? Like I'm hitting over 25 now. I've gotten a lot of success with this stuff, but my biggest thing that I wanted to do was actually start really touring again and really get myself on these big tours again and getting out there and DJing 5 days a week and like all of that. And I found with the bass stuff I was doing, there wasn't enough, even in Toronto at times, there's not enough of a, what's the best word? Like, there's not enough shows and not enough people
Even in
kind of.
Toronto?
I found in Toronto too, there are bass shows, but I find a lot of the bass shows that come in, it's like, let's say it's Subtronics, right?
Yeah.
Or Excision or like someone like that coming in. They bring their own lineup. They're not asking as much for like the local lineup. It's like one person that gets to open that's a local, and that's it.
That's it.
So
Have you ever played at like Vertigo or like
Vertigo?
any of what's the other one? Coda or anything
Coda.
like that?
So I'm working on doing definitely Vertigo. I would love to play Vertigo. I'm really good friends with everyone at Vertigo. I actually end up it's so funny because my friend is here and all I talk about is going to Vertigo. Really good friends with the owners. My best friends are promoters for Vertigo. So Vertigo is something that's definitely been talked about. I did Secret Society not long ago, which is like similar to a Vertigo kind of level and things like that.
Right, I like what they do because like they let you bring your crew, right? Like it's like they give you a night and then you like it's your night and then you bring whatever you want, and I think there's no there's no lineup. Everyone plays in the same,
which is really cool.
That's really smart.
It was really cool. And they have a Twitch stream going, and like you can, what I liked about Secret Society was that I was able to sit down and see my set again, and doing it back to back like that, I actually saw like my lack of confidence at times doing back to back, which taught me a lot when I did the Secret Society.
Yeah.
But my bigger show that I did was actually a Community Thursdays with Toronto House Community. If you've ever heard of Toronto House Community, they are just like pretty much a big promotional page pretty much in Toronto that puts all the events that are going out, but they do their own nights. And I'm going to be doing a couple more events with them too, which is going to be cool. We've talked back and forth, but for me right now, it's that like I feel like I've done a lot in Toronto that I'm trying to get my stuff outside of Toronto now. Yeah.
Well, you're doing it with your music, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like that's how you put yourself outside of your city and everywhere else. Just put your music out. And
it's similar in every city that you are, that there are cliques and people and the same thing, and it ends up being like the same thing going on with the same people and the same crew and the da-da-da over and over again. That if you want to kind of get yourself outside of that kind of like scene or out of that circle or like kind of grow yourself, you have to write music. Yeah. That is honestly like you want to hit. That's the biggest thing, is that you just need one hit to make it. John Summit is the biggest example of that like he sent 67 songs to one label and they got back on one song, and look at John Summit now.
Yeah.
Right? So it all comes down to just really perfecting your craft, consistently playing, getting your networking going. But like, also, I think there's such a push that you feel like you have to play all the time. I took the month off to come to PEI to write music. Yeah. And I honestly didn't sit down and set up a bunch of other sets because I was like, what is important to me right now? I was like, what is like the biggest things that I want to do? Well, I want to play like Atakaso. I want to get down to play at Playa. I want to get down to Tulum. I want to network in those bigger places. Yeah. And I want to showcase it and make sure that anything that I get out there is getting my music out there. And I use an app called Label Radar. Mm-hmm. That's changed everything for writing music for me. That really gets me. It pretty much is like like Monster Cat is on there that you can like just send your music to. I think Black Book Records, which is like Chris Lake's label, like a bunch of different label ownership or labels, and you can send your music out, and they will like accept or decline your music. That's how I got on Mafia Records, which is like a Brazilian label. And now I have like another 10 labels that are interested in me right now just from Label Radar. If it wasn't for that app, I don't think I would have made the progression that I would be.
Because like, for example, a friend told me the same, bro, you should get Label Radar because you send your music and blah, blah. Like right now, like I just started producing literally last year, learning. And then like right now I feel confident that I can put music that it's gonna be good, like good, sounding good, you know? I've been taking classes one-on-one with people that it's doing their thing and they're on tour in Argentina and stuff like that. So it's just, it's working perfect for me. So that's why I was like, okay, now I 100%. Want to start releasing music. But yeah, Label Radar.
Label Radar. There's another one, and I can't remember what it's called right now, but I'll look it up and send it to you. It's like Pitch Track or something like that. But another big thing is like doing it one-on-one is a huge thing. But I know so many big artists that have writers, and like a lot of people don't know about this. But if you go onto an artist's credits and look, you'll see that they actually hire people to work on music and co-produce, right? Yes. Never feel bad if you ever have a song and you can't get it done and you need another help or another idea. Get a writer, like sit with someone, do it. It's totally okay.
All the big artists have like 10 people writing from them, you know.
100%, right? And I think so many people like think it's not okay. I work with one writer sometimes that I sit and I'm like, I did this El Chapo remix that I had the beginning of the song super good, but I just could not figure out the drop and get it in the way that I wanted to. But I co-produced the drop with someone, and now you have to pay money to do it. But now the drop, like Pat knows, like the drop is lit. It sounds awesome. But it's totally okay to sit and like get help and work with people.
I just did the same, like literally on Saturday. I was stuck in one track for like a week or two that I couldn't finish the drop on the sound design of the drop. I needed some like synths, right? So I was like, okay, bro, can you come here and help me? Because like I just need to finish this, and he's really like he's really good with the keys, with the piano and stuff. So I was like, okay, bro.
There you go. Perfect.
That's the only thing I don't have any musical. And now I understand pretty much everything, but playing the piano and stuff.
Same with me.
Impossible.
I'm a great sample manipulator. Mm-hmm. Like I can take a sound and like shorten it or cut it up or, you know, what's another way? Layer it on top of each other, have like 5 different sounds to make it sound different and things like that. But when it comes down to like pianos, like I get it. I know where C is in the middle and D is, but I'm not the best at like doing like the rhythm of it, I guess is the way to explain it. But I can draw it up on, I use Logic. I can draw it on a piano track, but I'm really good at doing sample manipulation. Use what you're good at, you know? There's another big thing that people think that, like, you have to be perfect on all of these different things. So many people sample. So many people are using different things. Like, I'm really good at creating intros with, like, without sampling, and I'm really good at using pads and atmospheres and creating, like, the whole feeling of it. But then I will sample manipulate when I want to use, like, a horn in a certain way, or in bass lines. Like, of course, a bass line, I always use my own kind of sound. But I think if you need a sub, like, I use Splice. I love Splice. Everyone, Splice is great. It's fine. Like, use that Splice. Like, it's there for a reason. Yeah. So, but I think there used to be, like, so many fights about, like, how you should write music.
Yeah.
If you can get the job done and it sounds great.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, right? Like, if it sounds good, who cares?
Who cares at that point? And I think there's too many fights, and it actually stopped me from writing music years ago because I'd be on Twitter, and I actually don't use Twitter. Like, I know so many people in the EDM scene love our X or whatever, and, like, I hate X. Like, I don't use it because I think there's just so much drama. It's even the Reddit drama that happens, or, like, how people talk about DJs. Like, I kind of stay off it because too many opinions, too many people telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. But every artist that I know has someone there to help, and like, it's totally okay to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So, how many tracks do you have already?
Online, I have about 10 tracks out, but ready right now, I have another 3 that I finished.
Okay.
And then I have another 7 that are, like, just getting mixed and doing the mixing and mastering kind of side of it.
And how was getting signed to Mafia Records?
It was awesome. It was honestly, like, there was a couple other labels that I was interested in, but I really liked the way that they had it set up. And it was cool to get, like, a Brazilian, like, international label. It's been going great. Like, my song already has, like, 1,500 streams on Spotify, and they're doing a lot of blog work and things like that. I think what I've learned to start, and one of the biggest things too is, like, I've switched genres a lot in the last couple of years. Now I have to stick to something for the next 10 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I have to be really good and make sure that I'm not running around doing any more switches. Like, no more personality changes online. Like, we're done. You know what I mean?
No more satanic stuff.
No more satanic stuff. No more any of that kind of stuff, right? So, but I think the biggest thing that I got with that is you start with mid-tier labels. And then once you have a lot of different mid-tiers, like, I actually got signed to Sony on one of them too, who pretty much, it wasn't a huge thing, but they paid all for the marketing. Like, I didn't have to put any marketing in, things like that. But Sony was really random, but it was through a friend of mine that like got connected to Sony, and then they messaged, and it was one of those kind of things. But it was Sony Canada. It was cool. It was awesome.
I mean, it looks great in the resume, right?
It looks great.
They help you with everything with the marketing and stuff.
Right. They did the marketing. I think it got like 40,000 streams on Spotify. Like, I can't sit there and complain, right?
Exactly.
I also have a really good publicist, and that's the other thing that changed everything for me. And I'll send him to you too.
Okay. Perfect.
I send them to everyone, because then I also get, if anybody wants Chad, let me know, because I get what is it, like, I get money out of it. Like, it's like almost like affiliate marketing kind of thing. So if you guys want to work with Chad, I get 10%.
Refer a friend and you get $20.
Refer a friend. Chad is great, and he has worked with, like, some of the biggest artists, like Bijou, Whipped Cream, like Anjuno Deep, whatever. I don't know which, is Anjuna Deep, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Anjuna Deep.
From Montreal, I think.
Montreal, like all of these really, really big artists, but it's really good at working with smaller artists and actually, like, leading the path for them. And I don't want to say smaller, but, like, you know, mid-tier, you know, there's a difference of, like, C-list, B-list, and A-list, right? And there's just, like, learning where you are right now, accepting where you are right now, but having the right tools to get to those next steps. I feel like being someone that's kind of gotten out of the C-list, kind of in this, like, B-list area, but it takes a long time to get A-list, right? Like, it's probably going to take me another, like, 3 to 4 years before I'm touring.
It's not a race, right?
Yeah.
It's like you have
to... It's a marathon.
Exactly. And then you have to I think you need to be consistent, have quality, and do the right networking, the right moves, and then
exactly.
But don't try to rush it, right?
You can't rush it, and there's a lot of politics in the scene too, and there's a lot of people. Some people, it can be very cutthroat at times, and people can be really nice, and some people can be really mean. But the best thing I've learned is shut the fuck up and write your music, and just keep doing your stuff. But yeah, back to Chad. Chad is great, and he'll help you get on EDM blogs. He will help you get your music out there in the right way. You getting someone like that you have to invest money into it, but if you save some money, invest into yourself, you can get anywhere into this kind of world. Like, I think so many people think, oh, this person just dropped a track and it got 1 million views. No, like, people invest the money, the label invests money, things like that. Like, I'm one of these people that will not gatekeep information. I will give anything of that kind of stuff to understand, because once you understand that, then it's so much more, you get a better flow about how you're going to do things, you know?
Yeah, I was talking with one of my mentor, the guy who's teaching me like everything. He's a co-owner of a label. It's called Física. It's a Mexican underground. It's kind of like indie dance, under techno. It's like, and they're doing really good. And he was telling me, bro, like, now they've been going for like 10 years or something like that with the record label. And he told me, bro, like, we make really good money with the record label, but we don't keep anything. We just reinvest everything. into marketing and everything else that we need. Like, we just put it from our
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Even artists say the same thing. Like, even like if you look at some of these production shows, like Rez, for example, like, if you've seen Rez's Portal show, and it's like, she's a little bit more of like a mid-tempo bass artist. Like, these production shows are millions of dollars. Like, you can't sit there and say to me that they're not, like, they're crazy, and like, but they're just reinvesting all their money. And I think another big thing that people forget is, like, once you start making money in the EDM scene, you gotta invest in yourself, not just in the music. But I know people that have gotten into property. They put their money into stocks. They do different things to keep themselves safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, people have other jobs too. Like, even though it's other jobs, more like creating passive income or creating income in different ways too. I think there's I've seen a lot of people that started and they just became full-time artists right away. And I think, yes, being a full-time artist is really important, but I also have a job.
Yeah, like everyone says, keep your day job as long as you can.
As long as you can, until it's time for it to go. Because when it's time for it to go, you'll know. But like, I think there are artists that I've noticed that could be a lot farther if they had more money to invest.
And even though, like, you're not stressing about, like, I need to get booked because if not, I'm not gonna make money. And
it's scary. Like, I remember I watched some of these artists that I was dealing with and friends with, and it was scary to kind of see them because they were barely scraping by. Like, we're talking like starving artists eating noodles for that week. They want to write music, but they're not able to eat, and that was not something that I wanted to live with my life. And I think that can be really dangerous because you're not at your full capacity. Let's go back to health there. You know what I mean? It goes into, you need to have a healthy mindset in this industry. You have to build yourself in a way that gives you that kind of headspace. And if you don't have like a healthy routine or a healthy kind of idea of that, then you're not gonna, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, exactly. You need to have a clear mind to be able to, the creativity to flow.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really interesting what you just said. Keep your day job as
long as you can. Keep your day job as long as you can. It's okay. Like, so many people think it's not okay, but it's definitely okay. Like, I think a lot of people I know, like, again, back to the John Summit story, because I love the John Summit story so much. And I'm actually not even like, I like his music. I'm more of a Dom Dolla fan, to be honest, but I love his stories that he was an accountant for years. He went to school for being an accountant, had $10,000 saved, and then just lived in his parents' basement to like get the music out. But that's one out of a million stories, right? Every story is different, and whatever works for you to be able to invest into your money and get it out there, do it that way. You know what I mean? Because you can't always, it won't always be that kind of story. Skrillex got into a major label and it paid off all his debt, but we live in a different world. That was like 10 years ago, right?
20 years ago.
20 years ago, right? Skrillex would have been 20 years ago, and our economy is a little bit different. So it's a balancing act, but it's worth it at the end, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Just be consistent and then...
Just be consistent and keep growing. Because, like, the biggest artists also are, like, 35 and up. Like, I'm pretty sure...
like, the biggest, like, the best DJs, Yuzi Solomon, Marco Carola, like, all these guys, they are, like, 50.
50s. They're all in their 50s. Yeah, exactly. Chris Lake has just turned 42.
Exactly.
Wax Motif is 40. So, and that's fine. It's just that you need to understand, like, this is... We talked about it. It's not a race. It's literally a marathon of years of consistency and years of growth to be a DJ, and just remind yourself that you will have the best retirement ever. Like, your retirement time is going to be lit.
If you ever retire, because, like, you know, like, if you're a DJ...
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Carl Cox is 60 years old, like, and he's still at Burning Man killing it, you know? So, yeah.
You need probably a little more of recovery time, and then that's it.
A little more recovery, but I think we can go into, and this is something that's so important, and some stuff that I even have to work on when I talk about this, like holding my own self accountable, is the health and mindset, you know, being healthy. Not doing too many drugs, not partying too hard.
Wait, I'm gonna change this because it's been stressing me out. That it's gonna be better. I think you're gonna hear me better now.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Because it's being recorded, like, just to put everything in the same channel.
Oh yeah, nice.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because like the audio was going to two different channels.
Yeah.
And it's the same, but like I just like having
on both channels. No worries. Yeah, fucking health and mindset.
Yes.
It is very easy to fall down a trap and do drugs and do party and do this stuff, and I think my own advice to myself and my own advice to artists that are getting into this world is honestly not to do drugs and not to drink and not to party. We'll party, but it's like a weird balance where you need to go out to the parties to network, but then it would be better. There are times to learn when to go home.
Yeah.
You know, but I think there's a balance too to have sunrise afters and have that fun and have those kind of things and like be up all night after a show and like be out with your friends. Like that stuff is like memorable fun time. But if you really want to make it work, is value the times that like value the events that make the most sense to go and network to. Excuse me, but also just know when to go home. I don't know how else to explain it.
No, yes.
Know when to go home.
Like nothing good happens after 4 a.m. You know?
Nothing good happens after 4 a.m.
That's a mom advice, but yeah, that's true.
It is so true. And like there's been times, like, trust me, I've caught myself and it's 11 o'clock the next day and it's that kind of stuff. And what I've learned to do is I have times that like I am straight edge, sober, don't touch anything, don't smoke cigarettes, don't drink, don't do anything. And I will go like 6 months to a year of doing that, 2 years, done that before. Then I have times where I know this is going Instagram, but people talk about it anyway, like I might do some mushrooms, you know, or I might experiment and get myself into those places to get that inspiration. But my inspiration, I've had to learn, can't just be coming from the partying and going out. My inspiration comes from that nature walk. My inspiration comes from that book I read. My inspiration has to come through those kind of situations, but it has to come down to what is important to you at that time. And also, like, it's okay to have fun, but know when to stop.
And know when too, because like sometimes you see like all these people in the club or like just you're supposed to be like, it's supposed to be a work, right? Like at the end of the day, it's work. So you gotta be professional. And then you see all these sometimes DJs or promoters drunk, all fucked up in drugs. And
you are not a promoter.
Twitching.
Exactly.
It's like, bro,
what's going on? Oh my goodness, I've been there. And it's like sometimes, and I have to say this, and I'm so respectful to my promoter friends, but my promoter friends aren't writing music.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the two worlds that we're in are actually different.
Yeah.
And even to my promoter friends that are out there, because I know Toronto is built on a promoter system, you have to learn, and I saw a post of someone saying this, learn to go out sober and stay up all night sober. See if you can do the full night sober. If you can, do it again. Then do it again. Then do it again. And it becomes a system and a habit. So then you don't need to feel like you have to do all the drugs and the partying. But even when I go back, like I was just talking to friends about it, is I've had like my kind of self-sabotage. I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna go out and drink. You know, I'm just turned 27, and I took my year of 26 because of life experiences I was going through to just have some fun again.
Yeah.
I was stressing. I was pressuring myself. I went through a burnout. You know, all of this kind of stuff happened, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually just enjoy myself for a couple months and just be 26.
Yeah.
September hits though, it's back on that grind, back on like that no drinking, no cigarettes, no nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see how long I'm gonna last with it, because but I'm still gonna go out to events and dance because it's important to me to get out there and hear the music and hear what people are going through. But I want to see how long I can last without doing anything, you know?
In Toronto, it will be so hard to do that. Like here, I'm so happy because...
Lord help me, like...
Here, I'm so happy because I'm just... I go, like, I have a few residents here and I move stuff here, like, music.
Yeah.
But, like, it's... Whenever I go to the city or to visit my friends in Toronto and stuff like that, it's like, okay, like, it will be so hard, you know?
So easy to get fucked up in Toronto and Montreal and in Vancouver, Miami, LA, like, these are like the main big cities, right? And you're like, it's so easy, but if you can do it, and that's something that, like, why I'm even, like, posting this on the podcast and, like, being so open to talking about it, is that I'm holding myself accountable. You know, I have to be accountable to this. Because, like, I'm hoping I see you in a year and we talk about it again, let's say, and it's like, I was accountable to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I can be accountable, then I'm leading. What I've learned and what my kind of mindset is that I'm like, if I do it, and let's say someone else who's in the same boat as me but actually really needs to see that mindset of someone else, and I can help someone else get out of that bad mindset, of that bad routine, and I can maybe help someone because my routine is better, then I'm winning.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of why I'm gonna try to do that kind of thing too. Not try, I'm doing it. Yeah. One last hurrah at some point, and then one last long vertigo night, and then
that's it.
That's it.
Have you been to any of the Electric Islands?
Yeah. So I actually was up for. I had interest this year to play Electric Island.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get it this year, unfortunately. They're just so competitive. There's so many great DJs.
But I don't think they put like so many artists from Toronto. Like they do, but like I see probably like 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
That's it. There's only one stage specifically that is for Toronto artists, and then the most of it, like it was like 2 artists, and then it was Mal P and like Max Tyler, and then the rest of the headliners. But yeah, I went to Electric Island with my friend, artist Church, who just released with Rez, which was really fun, and we had VIP. It was a great experience,
And it was this summer, right?
It was this summer, yeah. It was for the Black Coffee.
Black Coffee, okay. I went to the one with who was that? It was Party Boy 69.
Oh, sick.
Who else? Prospa.
Yeah.
Like Sosa, I think, was there. Like it was good.
It's really fun. I haven't done Veld yet. I've had so many friends do Veld, but I haven't been to Veld yet. But I'm hoping by next year. Like now that I have, like, my issue is that I was in such a transitional year because I was moving from bass to dubstep, that like promoters would look at me, or like these event management companies, and be like, who are you? Like, what are you doing music-wise, right? So I had to understand for like a year that I wouldn't have gotten as many sets and shows because I was in a transition year. Now by next year, I'm hoping to have like a bunch of new music out with these labels and different kind of things like that when they look at me, they're like, oh, she's perfect for this stage. Oh, she can go on this stage. Because that's the biggest thing. It's not about how many followers or yes and no, like how much success you have is important, but people need to know with the lineup that they're having on sets for that year, where do you fit on that lineup? Yeah, and that's the biggest thing about how you get on sets. It's not about the amount of followers. It's about where do you fit, and if you can fit into the right place, and that your sound works. So that's why it's so important to really keep your sound mainstream in different ways, or like working with people.
I think house is a perfect job, because like for example for me with my project, I told you I decided to make it also a record label. I start signing friends and start signing my music there too, and start growing it worldwide. Because I have friends in Playa, I have friends in Dubai, and I feel house is so it can be just normal house, can be tech house, can be minimal house. It's kind of like
it's different. Such a subgenre of genres of a genre together.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's part of it why I moved to house too. And it's easier to make. I'm sorry, but dubstep, holy shit, drove me insane some days. I don't know what it is. Like, I love the smoothness of house and like okay, just add the bass line. Okay, add the keys. And it's just like a very nice formation of writing. But in dubstep, you're hearing like these chunks and it's loud and I have a headache now and I love it. I love dubstep music. We were blasting it on the way here, but it's still used to drive me insane to make. And I could never get it to be the sound that I actually really wanted it to be. Mine ended up being mid-tempo, which is fine. But like, I love
the sound design for dubstep, it's crazy.
It's crazy. I think it's the hardest genre to make is dubstep. That's my opinion, though. I don't know if it's the right opinion, but I think it's one of the hardest things to make. But I've had so many classes. I went through so many classes to write dubstep, and I moved to house, which is so funny. Paid so much fucking money to do this, and then I'm like, I'm gonna be a house DJ. Like,
it's okay. When was the last time you went to? You say you've been to Playa a few times, or?
So I did Costa Rica, but I'm gonna do Playa this year.
Okay.
Playa this year, but I have so many friends that go down to Playa.
Have you been to Tulum or anything like that?
No, I haven't. I was gonna go last year, but then I'm gonna go. Yeah, I haven't gone yet.
Yeah, I really recommend you do. Like, it's amazing.
I think it's time, and I have a bunch of friends that do events down there, and I know a lot of people that do events and different kind of stuff like that, like daytime events and all of that. But it again,
are they from there?
They are. So they do. The company was called Porcano, and they do like a daytime event that friends that I know that do stuff down there. But they do different. They travel around and do this like Afro House daytime event. But that's what I spent most of my time in Costa Rica, and I've done so much shit in Costa Rica that like Acasa, I was a media team in press for that. I'm hoping I'm really good friends with the owner, Mike, calling you out. Hey, really want to play it this year, even if it's like the after hour or like something like that. But I did a little tour in Costa Rica, like all over it. And I played Jaco, Tamarindo, Dominical, and this was back 3 years ago. And I just would play everywhere. So
how do you got the bookings? Did you just message the venues or?
People came up to me and then saw me play once, and then they wanted me to play again, kind of thing.
That's amazing.
That's a great question, actually, though. How to get bookings? I think the biggest thing that I'm learning is messaging people. Like, do not be afraid to send those emails out. Go and look at who other artists' agencies are and their emails are. Send those emails. They may not answer. You'll probably get declined 500 times, but it takes that one person, right? That one person to get back. And that's when things kind of change. And then even if you play in front of 25 people, like I still do sets in front of 20 people, and they're the hardest sets to play.
It's more intimate, It's
so intimate. I love them though.
Like the small rooms feel. That you're right. Like those are the hardest because it's like you don't know if they're enjoying the music. I don't know. I feel whenever it's a small crowd, it's a little bit hard.
Whenever
hard. It's like a bigger crowd, but. I love playing in smaller rooms because smaller rooms it's more intimate and like everyone is vibing there. And like you can feel the energy.
Oh, it's so fun. And it's interesting. It makes you have to test how good you are. It's not about technicality at that point. It's about can you read a room and can you read the vibe in that room?
Curating
the experience.
Yes. What's your inspiration? What's what artists do you look?
Lately, I love Mau P lately, and I've been really liking Dom Dalla and then Max Tyler, and then I was sad. I was in PEI when the last Electric Island was going on. Inspiration. I find for me, my inspiration comes down to less about actually listening to music, but more what's going on in my day-to-day life. So for me, what I had to learn is that I had to get single. That was another big thing, is that like I love relationships, I love dating, I love all that kind of stuff, but I needed to be very careful about like how my moods were to write music, because I'm a woman and like we are very much into our emotions, things like that. But when it comes down to writing, I can easily get turned off from writing if I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
And that's something for me why I will go for a walk, or I will go and spend quiet time, or I will, the moment I feel inspired. Like there was a time I was hanging out with my friend that I brought here today, Pat, and I just was like, I feel inspired, I need to go get my laptop. And we went and got my laptop. You know what I mean? It's like following those moments so you get out whatever, even if it's just a small idea of like a 4-bar beat, you know, it's just spending that time. But artist-wise, Walker and Royce, Rez Always Church, who's a really good friend of mine. I listened to their Shambhala mix so much. Shambhala is such a good time too.
Never been there.
It's so fun. Dangerous. Not in a bad way. Like dangerous that it's so good. So fun. I had so much fun last year. I think it's less about the artist for me, about inspiration, but the mood of the music. And I think one advice that I got with writing music is taking a sound that you really like and taking the actual song and putting it up in your DAW, and like you can put it up and see how the structure is.
Like the reference.
The reference, yeah, using it as a reference track, exactly. I think that's more how I get inspiration, is that like I will go back and listen to a song and be like, ooh, I really like that idea. Will it be the exact same idea? Absolutely not. It's hard to get something exact with a reference, but actually what's a great practice thing to do is actually taking a reference track and spending time trying to make the exact same synth and see if you can do it.
You can do it.
And that's a great practice that I learned from classes. But
which program do you use for synths? Serum or
Serum too. But then I also use something called Alchemy in Logic. So it's kind of like their plugin that just comes with
comes with the program.
Comes with the program. And I like using it because so many people use Ableton, but I like using Logic, and people make fun of me, and I know, and it's like I should be on Ableton, but I think that bullshit fight about competition about what you write on is kind of silly, because I think I have sounds that I use that other people don't use, or like plugins that other people don't use, so I can maybe create something a little bit uniquer. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm a Logic baby. I like the vibe of it. I can make things pink and purple and pretty. Ableton to me just looks like a spaceship, and I don't connect to writing it as much. That helps my inspiration too. It's like, what program
you
am
probably
I using?
Feel overwhelmed with like looking at all the DAW and just like, oh, what the fuck am I doing here?
It's like down here, and it's too cluttered.
Especially
for me.
if you're using Logic for like a long time now. You said you started doing music when you were 16,
17. Yeah, and I started on a Fruity Loops, which Fruity Loops is a great learning curve and a great beginning, but then I got Logic. And yeah, I've been using it for so long, like, to make that change is just too hard, after a while. But yeah, I don't know, I like the layout, and I can keep everything super organized, and I just don't love on Ableton. Well, I know everything is just right there. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you can your EQ can just be right down here, or like different kind of things like that. To me, that looks so cluttered, and I have so much ADHD in that moment that I'm just like, no, or OCD, I think, and I'm just sitting there just being, no, I don't want the clutter. I want to be able to click it when I need it and then click it away. I don't know. That's my opinion on it. Yeah.
That's fine. Everyone has their
own thing, right? So, but yeah, I'm a Logic girl, and yeah, that's
Are you gonna go see Dom Dolla in Halifax?
When is that?
September 27th.
I'm gone. I won't be here. I'll be back in Toronto, and I think I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. This is like the tour DJ artist life over here, is that like I don't think I'm actually gonna stay in Toronto I'm only gonna be in Toronto, I think, for like 3 months, because then I want to go to Playa or Costa Rica. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back only for a little bit, and by December I want to be out of Canada, and just I've done the Canada ride, I've done the Vancouver ride, I've done the tours in those places.
Well, Montreal.
Love Montreal.
Would you ever leave there?
I would if I knew French better. Like, I do know some French, but I'm not as good with my French. But I've spent a lot of time. I have many friends that used to run Picnic Electronique and like in Parc Jean Drapeau, and it was amazing and all that kind of stuff. But again, it's kind of a city that, like, if you are at a certain level and you are, again, not a part of that city, it's hard to get the bookings, you know what I mean? And it's kind of that thing for me where I'm like, where I've learned where I'm at, it doesn't matter where I am. I just need to get music out, get on labels, keep pushing that way. Yeah. Versus trying to move to like another city and try to grow.
And find a new
city.
crew, and then the crew, and then try to fit in the crew.
Move around, make network in every city that you can, but move around. I've learned that from people, and it's like, be willing to spend, like you've done stuff in PEI, you've grown in PEI, which has so much artistic value here too, then maybe be ready to maybe try somewhere else.
Yeah, that's why like I want to grow this project, so whenever I move anywhere, I can
take it. You can take exactly. Yeah, you can take it anywhere. Yeah, that's the biggest advice that I've learned. I just be willing to jump to different places.
So where will be the next place for you?
I think for me it's going to be Playa. I think Playa and Tulum, I'm going to do
You're going to love it. It's really nice. Whenever you're there, hit me up. Like, I can help you with anything there. I grew up there. Like, I'm not from there. I was born in Mexico City, but like I moved to Playa.
I would love to do Mexico City too.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
And I moved to Playa when I was 7 till like I finished high school. Yeah. So I lived there for like pretty much all my teenage years.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started like over there. I remember we started partying when we were like 15, 14.
It's the same with PEI though.
Going to Tulum to like there, I remember like one of my first raves. It was at Day Zero with Damian Lazarus and
crazy.
Like, I was like,
my rave experience versus Day Zero, like I can't even comprehend. Like it's like 0 to 100. You know what I mean? Crazy.
We were really privileged over there.
Yeah.
So, every time now that I go, it's like okay, like I love it, but like I've done this so many times.
So many times that you're kind of in a different kind of place. Yeah, I love
doing it. But like, for example, like we went a couple years ago. I went with my girlfriend and we were like, she never experienced any kind of like that kind of like a party. So we're like, okay, let's just try to go to all of them. So we bought tickets for pretty much everything. And by the third day, we were like, okay, let's just sell our game music tickets. Let's say because we needed to rest. We needed, it was too much.
Well, because I see the parties. I remember when I was almost going to go last year, and I almost went. But moral of it is that don't break up with people. That moral of it, I was almost going to be there, and then I ended it with someone, and then I didn't go. So be it. C'est la vie. That's what happens. But this year I'm sitting there being like, I'm fucking going. The party was, you start at like 2 p.m., and then it goes to 11, and then you go to Zamna till 8 in the morning. And then it goes 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. the next day, and then you do it all again.
All again, yes. And you have to still go home, shower,
change, get up, maybe have a quick nap, and then you're up again for another weekend. Like, crazy to me. And
that happened to us, and we were like, okay, no. Like, we like at that point, we were getting home at like 12 p.m. the next day. Sleeping until probably 1 a.m., waking up, taking a shower, and going out.
And then going back out. That's what I would do. I know myself that, like, I can, and that's how I go nowadays with parties. Like, I used to be able to do, like, 2 to 3 day benders. I can do one day till, like, 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. the next day, but then I gotta go home and sleep. Sleep is such a priority to me now. Like,
we went with, we were a bunch of friends. It was probably, like, 15 friends from Canada that we went there, and we rented a house in Tulum because it's better if you live like my house is in Playa, right? So I'd rather stay in Tulum and
because it's easier.
It's easier, but
that's good to know though.
Yeah, but I'll recommend you actually to get a place earlier before, like I will say November, early December, because January everything goes up 3 times.
That's what it is. It's so cheap right now. It's like I was looking at prices for Playa and also Tulum, and it's like way cheaper than I thought. It's way cheaper than even Costa Rica right now.
And I was one thing that I will 100% recommend you is everyone, if you guys go to Tulum, just rent a car. It's gonna be way cheaper. Than just one taxi ride to the parties. It doesn't matter where you are. One taxi ride to Samna, $200 American dollars.
Fuck that! I'm gonna rent.
It's crazy, and it's a 10-minute drive, but like you cannot walk because it's in the highway. So you need to go out, get in the highway. It's a 10-minute drive. and then they go to the right, and
fuck
then
that,
it's $200 for like a 10-minute drive, and there's no other way to go there.
Crazy.
So on one day it's like $80 to rent a car for a day. So
that's nothing. It's easier to rent a car.
And especially if you're with more friends.
Yeah, and then everybody just puts it in together, and then okay, that's good to know. Renting a car though, okay.
Yeah, that will save you so much money because even if you try to go to the beach clubs or anything, January it's really expensive time for.
Well, because everyone's down there.
So
yeah, okay, that's good to know. Everyone's learning travel tips. Travel tips. Yeah, this is hey, I need this too because I know I'll be going down, but like I will probably know friends that are going to be down there. Yeah. But I do a lot of solo traveling and just like walk into places by myself. Yeah. Like that's how I network. That's another thing I've learned is like network if you have your manager, if you have a manager in music, like go and do it with like that kind of stuff with your manager. But if you're doing this by yourself, go by yourself and talk to people because people will like take you a little bit more seriously versus having like all your friends kind of hanging around. But yeah, I'll be doing a lot of stuff by myself. I'm a little solo traveler, so we shall see. Cool. Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah. Just whenever you're ready or planning to go there, I'll introduce. I have a friend that he has a record label.
Amazing.
His record label is called SOS, like Save Our Souls.
Oh, nice.
It's house, more minimal, but like
cool.
Because like the sound of Tulum and Playa, and all the area, it's minimal.
Yeah.
Minimal house. Like I don't know. I guess everyone has their own kind of like sound in every area, but like in that area, it's minimal.
Minimal.
But
it is very minimal. Or then the area is minimal. And same with Toronto though. It's very minimal in Toronto actually. Yeah. Thinking about that, I say that there is a lot of like tech house and techno, but I find a lot of the sound. It's like because and I think it's part of it because I'm hanging out a lot with the Persian community, and that's a very minimal techno kind of like acid or a minimal house hypnotic kind of feel. But no, I feel it's very like that in Toronto too. Yeah.
Good to know.
Good to know. Yeah.
So how do you got the Secret Society one? Because like I've been trying to get I messaged them and they say yes, bring your crew, blah blah. We'll give you some dates, but like I never I
think the biggest thing is that they're so busy. You need to get down there and talk to them personally. It's Tim. You're probably talking to Tim. Yeah. So for that, I will even talk to Tim and be like, Tim, I got friends. Da, 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 da. But like. The biggest thing I've learned how I got that was through my friend who got a night and then they just invited me to come be a part of that night. But Secret Society, the other thing is that what he told me, because I did like the Sunday one, but I also want to do a Wednesday night when they do the bigger, they have like the back-to-back night, but I want my own night. I asked for my own night too. They're booked till October.
Yeah.
So that is the issue. Yeah, there's more that I'm going to start sneaking in. So I would just ask to see if you can get a date maybe like in November, December time and be open to those dates and explain that to him and then see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I need to go there. That's a thing.
You're welcome. I'll be there for another 3 months. So
perfect.
And then I'll be in Playa because
I'm
thinking doing Playa, Tulum, and then Costa Rica, and then Nicaragua, and then coming back.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I love getting out of here every January.
Like,
whenever it's winter and starts getting cold here, I just leave.
Fuck that.
I usually go home. Like, what I've been doing is I go home 1 year for like a month, and then the next year I go like somewhere new.
Yeah.
And then back home again. And blah, blah,
yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing a Ibiza for the summer next year. I'm thinking about just like, even if it's just like, because I've never spent time in Europe, and my music, I get a lot of plays in Europe, but I haven't.
Well, we have some tech issues right now.
Little tech issues, a little bit that we've been talking so long, we didn't realize. Yeah, it's an hour. Yeah, goddamn.
Well, the GoPro died because we were recording in 4K, but.
Yeah, 4K. I'm gonna do Ibiza, I think, next summer. And even for me, like, I have no idea what I'm doing, what jobs, hoping I'm gonna get a remote job. We're just gonna hope for the best. But, like, I might even get my bartender's license and just, like, bartend down in Ibiza or get on some DJ gigs out there on, like, boat parties and different kind of things like that and start small and then build up. But, yeah, that's my next one.
I have one friend, a really good friend that, his name is Simon. He lived in Ibiza for 10 years or something like that.
Crazy.
And he moved, like, he's a server, and he's just a nomad. He goes everywhere around the world.
And just serves.
And bartender, and then...
You make so much money.
And he's a DJ, and a really, really good DJ.
Okay, that's good to know. So that's exactly what I might do.
he just went back to Ibiza this summer to work for the first time after like I don't know how long, and he was like, man, Ibiza is like so different from where like I last was here.
Last saw it.
Now like he used to play in like good, not the biggest clubs, but like in a good club and blah blah. And he was like, man, now that I go to the same clubs, like they ask me like, how many followers do I have? And it's crazy because like it was not.
It's
to be
grown
like that.
so
and
much.
Now, in Ibiza, they like he was telling me this like a couple days ago. Like now, every restaurant or every area has like their own decibel level, so like you cannot play music louder and so much. So like they're trying to keep just the music in one area, and then because
it's crazy. It gets crazy. Right? Yeah, but that's interesting. That's good to know. But I also say like Ibiza, I kind of want to see Mykonos. I want to get to England. Like there's so many places that I want to. Amsterdam, 100% Amsterdam.
I want to do ADA this year.
Oh, ADE, yeah, or yeah, ADE, yeah. Yeah, I have a label that's sending my music to different people at ADA. So, excuse me, that's how you get on a label radar too.
Yeah,
all label radar.
Literally gonna sign up because it's a membership, right? It's like
it's $20. Yeah. It's easy, and that's the thing. It's that like you don't have to like just send your emails out constantly and try to like research everything. A lot of these platforms have everything just right there for you. It's all AI, so.
Just to wrap it up, about your set that we are gonna record right now. What's your
my manifestation for it was funny enough that I was like, let's say theoretically I get a set in Tulum.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a Tulum set that I would play.
Oh, perfect.
So I don't know. It's not going to be minimal tech though. It's going to be definitely. We had played it in the car. It's like harder house. Like it's not super hard, but it has its own. It's tech house with a little bit of melodic house and stuff like that, and it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited to play it. And
I'm excited to hear it.
I've been kind of doing like different format or different genres of house lately, and kind of really specifying like what works for me. And I find like my sound is kind of like melodic tech house. Mm-hmm. So I've been finding music that's like a lot like that, and then putting it together so that's what I play.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I asked you for your inspiration for the artist. What kind of sound you? Because for example, for me, I grew up like back where I'm from. We get all these DJs that are, for example, Marco Carola, Solomon. We get we used to get Chus and Ceballos. DJ Chus, and like this kind of like. My inspiration for my sound is kind of tribal, but at the same time minimal, but tech house because of all these different artists that I watched growing up, right? 100%. And I still love them. Like every time I see them,
I feel like we just as people like make music and just like a subgenre and a subgenre and a subgenre, and then you make the sound, and then just like one of these like formatted sounds of everything together.
Exactly.
Super cool.
Well, I'm excited to hear your set. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
And. Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Spotify, SoundCloud, Beatport, Apple Music, and Instagram under Cinnedi or Cinnedi Music.
I will tag your Instagram
amazing
somewhere around here. But
yeah,
well,
perfect.
Thank you guys. Bye bye.
Amazing.